All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is February 26, 2024, just about like at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The current price of BTC 56,485.46 for Leroy, right? So in today's content, we'll go for a quick review regarding BTC on a macro basis and what type of a price action we could be anticipating going into the halving, as we discussed the volatility likely to increase as we go towards the halving and all that good stuff. Most bears are still waiting for 10k, 3k, 2k, 1k, and all that good stuff. Could they basically get those prices within the next like a few months? That's going to be pretty difficult, okay, to drop down to those lows. So if you're waiting for those lows, you got a very low probability to see those prices. I'm not saying we won't see it, but the probability is extremely low, right? As BTC already gave us the chance to accumulate at 18k, 16k, 15k, and all that good stuff for like a nearly an entire quarter, and bears just been a pretty hard headache, and then they've been waiting for 14k and all that good stuff, right? So now I'm gonna dive into the analysis. We're going to start off with the higher time frame, okay? The first time frame we're going to talk about going to be the 3-month time frame, the quarterly cycle. As we've been describing on a quarterly basis, we've been pretty much spot on a quarterly basis, right? What we're looking for on the quarterly, we've been pretty moderate, okay? Looking for some small gains, not like some parabolicness in Q1. However, BTC does whatever it wants to do, okay? So we were looking for just a close above our quarterly resistance of 45.5 up to 46.5. However, BTC now it is at, it hit like just about like a 57, 58k area, which is also our directional target to the upside, from like the 40ks and all that good stuff. So if we take a look at it on the quarterly, once again, a close above 45.5 should be the target this quarter. Anything above 45.5 up to 46.5k area, right, is just a plus, right? It could mean like, okay, closing above 57, 58k, right, could also be a big catalyst, going into Q2, right? And at the same time going into the halving, we could even basically hit like 100k before, the halving or just after the halving. That's very possible, okay? I'm not sure if we will, because we haven't seen it before BTC breaking out above all-time high before the halving, right? But it is something that we should consider, right, within the next like a 2 month. Why? Because BTC never broke below its previous all-time high. So is it possible for BTC to break above all-time high before the halving? That's also possible, okay? Because just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean like it will never happen. So I would say bulls got like 70 to 75% chance, right, to break out above all-time high before the halving. Okay, I know most people don't want to believe it, right? But you got to recall when we were dropping to the downside with the 5-way structure right here, most bulls been saying what, we'll never drop below what, 20k, and we dropped 20% below 20k, more than 20% below 20k. So could we basically on the opposite side break out above all-time high, even 20% above all-time high, right, before the halving, and hit like the 80k, and higher, before the halving? That is possible, right? However, one thing you just have to keep in mind is like whether we break above all-time high, before the halving or after the halving, it shouldn't matter to you or I if we're looking for the 4-year cycle, because we don't care about like whether BTC breaks above all-time high before the halving or after the halving. The only thing we're watching is the time cycle, right, in which BTC going to be performing between April 2024 up to April 2025. That's the most important thing to watch, not the price level, right? It doesn't mean BTC will go parabolic in that time frame or BTC won't do anything. All I'm saying is bulls, they just have to be level-headed and be patient within the next 12 months or even up to 18 months, right? We'll discuss it as we go, right? if we get more data, we'll basically readjust our view, right? That's the most important to watch, not whether we break. Don't fall for that, thumbnails or those titles, clickbait titles and all that good stuff, right? Got to be focused. The hardest thing, I just mentioned it in my members videos, okay, in my premium videos, the hardest thing was like to stay, with the downtrend for the entire 12-month cycle from like November 2021 to November 2022, and we did that exactly. And what we said was like in November 2022, it will represent 18 months before the halving, right? So you don't want to wait till the halving to be saying like, oh, are we going to break above all-time high, or we're not going to break above all-time high? It is just noise. So you just have to filter the noise when it comes to like YouTube and content creators. Some of these YouTubers are content creators, right? They just create content, okay? They're not basically trading the market, they're just creating content, right? So that's how basically, that's how they look for the views and all that good stuff to basically get you guys excited and all that good stuff. But have to be focused on the 4-year cycle, right? If you don't care about whether we break out above all-time high or not, okay? So we're done with the quarterly cycle. You know what to look for. Once we break out above all-time high, if you've been following our channel long enough, right, we're looking for the 1.618 extension based on what? Based on Elliot wave, right? We discussed our wave 2 when everyone was saying like, okay, we're going down. We said this is going to be wave 2, right? And once we finish off our wave 2 and break out above 32K, we look for our wave 3, right, at 1.618 extension. So I'm not going to go deep into the Elliot wave analysis. I'm just going to basically give you guys what you need to know in terms of like the 1.618 extension. It is going to be around like a 80K, right, give or take, right here, depending on how accurate you're going to be drawing it, right? And once again, I'm not saying 80K will be the top with that 5.3 ratio, 10.5 ratio, 100K ratio. I don't care. All I'm saying is 80K will be 1.618 extension of our wave 1. It could be higher or lower, right? But as we get closer, we'll basically reanalyze, readjust, and reevaluate our view. Okay, we're not here to basically look for exact numbers. I don't care about exact numbers. Okay, 100K, 99, whatever, 101K, whatever. I don't care. We just want to get the directional trend. Okay, the hardest thing, once again, I said it, was to stay with the bear market, accumulate at the bottom, accumulate alt right here, Q4 2023. We've done that perfectly in our premium group. It is not time to be looking for exact number, okay? Just like what happened right here, 1.618 extension to the upside for the wave 3, wave 2, wave 3, what we were looking for, 1.618 extension. So if you just trade BTC on a macro basis, you're going to oversimplify everything. 44 to 42K was our target right here, and that's where we exactly just broke out at, right? Back in 2020, we discussed the 44, 42K when we were breaking out around like 11K. We said be pumping all the way up to 42K. When bears were saying like, oh, we're gonna hit 20K and we're gonna come back down to 13K and all that good stuff, right? We say nope. We're going to pump all the way up to 44K. So that's the same thing we're looking for right here. After we hit like 42K, bears were saying like, oh, we're going to drop down to 30K, retest. BTC doesn't have time to waste, okay? In a bull market, it is just going to get the job done. That's it, right? And if you miss a bull run, I mean, I don't think none of us missed a bull run, right? So if you've been following this channel, right? Unless you've been following a, slow way, okay? Right? So this is it on a quarterly basis, right? So now let's dive in into the monthly analysis, right? So the monthly looks super jullish, okay? So once again, I don't think we will get 18-month bullish cycles, okay, like 18 straight month bullish cycles. At some point we're going to get some bearish monthly candles, but you just have to remember one thing I said when this candle was like the first month of 2024 January was started to flip bearish. If you guys recall, I made a video and I said zoom out, okay? Don't worry about like the candle being bearish, because we're going to get some, okay? Even before the yearly cycle started, I mentioned it in my members videos, and I said we're going to get some bearish monthly cycle along the way. I would expect at least 3 monthly bearish cycle. If we don't get it, great, we just enjoy the the upside momentum, right? But if we get those monthly bearish cycle, we just have to analyze them on the macro scale, not on the daily time frame. Okay, what do I mean? You have to go on the weekly time frame, right? The weekly 21 EMA. So that's the week. Let me just change it to yellow so I won't confuse Leroy. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Okay, so we still got another 15 minutes, right? So you take a look at your weekly 21 EMA. So the yellow moving average you're seeing right here, that's your weekly 21 EMA on your monthly time frame. So you're basically using a hybrid time frame, your monthly and your weekly, right, to stay in course with the uptrend. What do I mean? As long as we do not, okay, close a monthly body candle below the weekly 21 EMA, right, which is our yellow line right here, the trend going to stay up. Okay, as long as we do not close a monthly body candle below the weekly 21 EMA, the trend going to be up. I know, Leroy, you can rewind it and listen it again. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a few examples, right? So if you take a look at right here, back in September 2020, market dropped down to the weekly 21 EMA on a monthly basis. What happened back then right here? Right, most of you guys probably don't even remember, right? Because some of you guys are new to the market and all that good stuff. Bears was saying like, oh, we're gonna drop down to 9,400 because we had a gap right here, right? And the weekly 21 EMA was right there. That's the yellow line. So the monthly time frame tagged the weekly 21 EMA, and bang, we pushed it upside. In our members video, in our premium group, we were extremely bullish at 10K. Okay, we were bullish on 10K at 10K, and we were looking for the all the way up to like 11, 12K, and we said if we close this cycle right here, the October cycle, above like a 10.5, right, with the 50-day cycle hybrid, we're going to be in a bull run, and we won't even be looking for 20K. We will be looking for 44K area. So that's why it is so important to pay attention, okay, to the to the monthly time frame, right, with your basically a weekly time frame. But you might be saying like, hey son, right here we dumped, okay, below it back in August. Yes, we dumped below it, right? However, the second candle right here did not close even bearish, right? Did not close bearish. So that's why when we close above 32K, right, even after we broke out above like a 30.3 in our members and premium group, we said this is it, okay? The wave 2, this is our wave 2 right here, and then we're going to be looking for our wave 3 to the upside, okay? 39 to 40, 41K, and after that, if we get a momentum to the upside, we're going to be looking for the 57 and all that good stuff. And both of those targets got hit beautifully, okay? So the monthly, the next indicator to keep an eye on, it is going to be your MACD on a monthly basis, but the MACD doesn't create a lot of noise, so you don't want to basically watch it on the monthly time frame. So we'll take a look at it later on down the road once it crosses negative, maybe in the next like a 12 to 18 month, right? The monthly RSI looks super jullish, right? It is just about like a 70, and if you draw a line right here, 70, you can see like where we were right here, right? Back in 2020, we were breaking above all-time high at 70. Right there, we were breaking above all-time high, and right now we at the same exact level we were back in November 2020 when we were getting ready to break all-time high. So that's why I'm saying like there is a possibility, okay, 75% chance BTC likely to break all-time high within the next few months. Okay, I don't know if it'll do it before the halving, after the halving. As I said at the beginning of the video, right, I don't care whether it breaks it above all-time high. I mean, whether it breaks it before the halving or not, okay? So, but it looks good. So let's double check it, okay? with the BLX chart. Okay, what happened back in where was the monthly RSI in 2016? Right here, the halving. Right, it was, I mean, it was actually lower right here. Okay, however, when we were getting ready to break all-time high right there in November 2016, right, the RSI was somewhere around like a 70 again. So you know, and as soon as we broke above all-time high, we were somewhere around like a 78. So right there, let's take a look at it when we were breaking all-time high. Let's do this. That's November 2020. All right, we broke all-time high around like a 75, so about the same range. So we could expect the RSI, right, to break all-time high sometime in, like, you know, not in terms of time, but in terms of RSI, when we hit like a 70, 77, right, 75, 77 range. Okay, so and we will see after that, right? We will see if we're going to keep on pumping all the way up to you know, 180k within the next few months and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the Pax G, okay? Because, you know, the Pax G is so important, guys. I don't think many people pay attention to the Pax G BTC, right? One of our previous update, okay, we discussed the Pax G BTC, and what I said was, like, I think BTC was somewhere around here. The Pax G BTC was somewhere around here, right there a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know, the Pax G BTC likely to drop 20%, and it means like BTC likely to drop what? BTC likely to pump, not drop. BTC likely to pump 20%, right? BTC likely to pump 20%, and you can see, like, right here we just pumped like 19% nearly, right? So the next level of support for the Pax G BTC, right, it is somewhere around like a 0.03, which is another 16%. So if the Pax G BTC is going to, if the Pax G BTC is to drop 16%, right, assuming like gold will stay the same around like a 2000 plus minus 1-2%, right, it means like BTC could pump like a 15% plus minus, okay, 1-2%. A 15% pump on BTC from our current level will take us above all-time high. Okay, will take us above all-time high potentially. Let's double check for Leroy. Not quite. Okay, we need a 22%, 23%, but give or take, okay? Because it doesn't mean like the Pax G BTC going to just drop 16%. It could drop 30%, right? 28%, just to hit the you know, April 2021 prices right there, around like a 0.025, 0.02, you know, 0.027, right, give or take, right? So that's a level to watch regarding the Pax G. On a monthly basis, it looks super bearish. Okay, so it means like gold is super bearish against BTC, and we could get the triple bottom right here, and then after that we'll see what we're going to get. The MACD is super negative. You know, you can see like the weekly 21 EMA price action cannot basically get a close above it on a monthly basis. So this guy could be doing something like that over the next like a few months, right? So another thing also to watch is, you know, the USDT dominance, guys. I've been giving you all these analysis, like, you know, for free, okay? But most of these analysis are basically premium analysis. We discussed it since like a 2023, early 2023. We said this guy has tapped out and most likely going to be retesting these lows, right? So we have support right now, 4.8, 4.5, as we discussed. Why? Because the triple bottom, right, triple top right here actually, okay? The triple top right here, we had between September 2020 up to basically April 2022, could basically provide some temporary support if we don't push hard enough, Okay, however, if we push hard enough, the next level of support going to be right here, right around like a 3.8%. So and that's on the monthly time frame, not on the daily. Okay, so we'll see you know, when we're going to get there. And at the same time, we just broke the macro support right here, you know, in terms of like the RSI. The monthly time frame is not showing any sign of reversal yet, right? If we take a look at it on a 2 weeks time frame, you know, we basically getting a full body candle now below the macro trend line support, started since like November 2018. So it is super critical as of now, you know, if you're bearish on BTC. Okay, you take a look at the 3 weeks time frame, looking super bearish. Has never crossed positive ever since we crossed negative right here back in November, not November, but January 2023, with that big candle. You can go back and watch my first, I think that was like January 8th. I can't remember exactly, but January 8th, I think. But the first week of January, when we did our macro analysis, we discussed, you know, the, you know, how important it is for the USDT dominance to continue to go down. Okay, so it could take time to drop down to like a 2.5% and all that good stuff, but you just have to remain with a downtrend as of now till we get a concrete reversal to the upside. So another thing basically to analyze is basically Ether, guys. Ether, we nailed it. Okay, clearly we said if we take out 2150 right here, there is no other resistance but 2850 up to 3150, right? And it could even fly up to the 0.618. The reason why I didn't want to basically care about the 0.618 was like we did have a price history right here in our group, 2850, 3150. We shorted it right there back in 2022, all the way down to all the way down to like a 2000, something like that, right? 1700 to a 1900 range, and enter another short all the way down to like $1,000. So it is just coming back down to our price history right here. So but 0.618, it is right around like a 33 to a 3400 range. So we'll see if we're going to get a monthly close above it. Even if it doesn't, right, it looks pretty good on a 3 weeks basis. On a 2 weeks basis, it looks good. You can see like MACD looking pretty juicy. You take a look at the monthly MACD, no sign of bearishness, giving us a fresh new trend. So Ether could be headed up to a, you know, all-time high within the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? So so the next level to break on a monthly basis will definitely be the 4,000 to 5,000 area within the next like a few months, right? So just keep an eye on the weekly time frame, right? If we get any checkouts, most likely we're going to get some, so expect some checkouts, right? It could be anywhere between 18 to 20%, but I don't know at what price level we're going to get those checkouts. So just be prepared, right, for any checkouts, right? And at the same time, keep an eye on the total 3. Let's take a look at total 2 first, okay? Because total 2, I was clearly saying it for the longest, right? If we take a look at total 2 in terms of indicators, right? The only indicators we needed in terms of total 2 was the bullish crossover right here between your 21 EMA and your 20 SMA. Okay, the 21 EMA, it is the yellow line, the yellow moving average, and the 20 SMA, it is the white one. So we discussed it a long time ago in our group. Okay, we said once we get this crossover, it means like it is time to load up on alt. Okay, that's why we said the last quarter, guys, of 2023 going to be vital, right? And it was vital because alt basically bottomed in Q4 2023, and most of the alt, okay, I don't think any alt made a new low as of now. Okay, very few alt, maybe like less than 1% of these alt made some new lows, right, since like October 2023, right? So, and if you followed us back in October 2023, I said it clearly, guys, this is a macro accumulation, 18-month consolidation. So that's what you need to pay attention to, not the individual alt, right? Yes, your alt, let's say back in October, some of these alt, right, were printing something like that. So you might be buying an alt, right, sitting like, let's say 20% below the December 2022 low, or like a 30% below, which is, pretty good, because you're expecting that alt to catch up with the total too, right? So on most of these alt, that's why if you take a look at Uniswap, right? Let's take a look at Uni. You take a look at Uniswap on a monthly basis, you can see where was Uni back then. Back in October, Uniswap was right around like a $4. And we discussed it in our premium. Load up on Uniswap, right here, October, exactly October 22nd, right, 2023. Uni, Dogecoin, VChain, you go check all those alt, guys. They were at the very bottom. We've around like a $4 or $5. Right now it is around like a $16. We discussed it because we were waiting for the right time to basically talk about alt macro bull run. Okay, so you take a look at Uni since like October 2023, sucker pump like over 3x, okay, and hit above our target of like the monthly 21 EMA short term. But on the macro, we're looking for much higher prices for Uni, okay, and all that good stuff, right? So basically, if we go back to the total 2, right, it is in a bull run. Okay, we talk about like total 2 hitting like 1 trillion if you've been following our channel right here. Okay, so the next level of resistance, temporary, going to be 1.25, and it means like the total 3 could basically steal the show, right, within the next like a few weeks, so we can get up to like a 1.25 trillion. So if you're holding, not financial advice, but if you're holding like any alt, right, around the October lows, you just have to basically keep accumulating. I'm not giving you any advice, but all I'm saying is any alt, like let's say for instance, as of now, CRV is right around like a 50 cent, I think 55 cents, 60 cents, give or take. It is somewhere around like its October lows. All right, let's take a look at CRV. Okay, you can see like a CRV, the pattern it is printing, right? Wedge pattern, that's a pattern we used back in October. So this guy is still doing the same thing in February, March, okay? Once it breaks out, it could be breaking out just to catch up with the market, and could break out like a 200% in one day and pump all the way up to 150 to $2 area. As of now, it is just about like a 60 cents. If you recall back in 2020, we talked about CRV at the very bottom, right around like a 50 cents to a 30 cents area right here, and sucker pump all the way up to $7 before the end of the bull market, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at others, right? So others is also looking pretty good, all right? So got the others is basically the crypto market cap excluding the top 10. You can see the crossover right here between your EMAs, right? The yellow one is your 21 EMA on a monthly basis, and the white one, it is your 20 SMA. So we already got 28 minutes, right? So others is looking super bullish, right? Breaking out above 0.618, the next level of resistance around like a 300 billion right here, which is another 23%, which is basically what we just said in terms of like a total 2 hitting like a 1.25 trillion. So that 250 billion could be coming from the coins outside the top 10, right? So potentially, I'm not saying that's how it is going to be playing out exactly, but you get the concept, okay? So the next thing is like the total, not the total, but the BTC dominance. So the BTC dominance, regardless, okay, it is bullish, right? However, you have to be very cautious, because just because the BTC dominance is bullish, right, that doesn't mean like alt one pump. And I've been saying it ever since we hit like a 54K area. I mean 53%, right? 55% area right there. I said the BTC dominance, it is still bullish. It could pump all the way up to 57, but it is good for the market because all that liquidity, right, will flow back into alt once BTC drops, let's say 3 to 5%, right? And that's exactly what happened whenever BTC pump, like let's say whenever BTC pumps like 10-15% and drops like, let's say, 3 to 5%, the liquidity will flow into alt. And that's exactly what we're getting. You can see like since October, okay, October 2023, over the last 5 months, the BTC dominance has been basically stagnant, right? Right here. But take a look at what happened to BTC, right? Since like October, because that's when we started the breakout, right? From like a 25K. So if you just sit right here and only analyze basically the BTC dominance without paying attention to everything else. Okay, so you take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? October is, let me draw it properly for you, right? September, let's just say September, okay? September is right there, right? Okay, let's just say October, right? October. Okay, since October, right? So BTC pumped 100%, right? Over 100% since October, right? And what we said back in October, time to accumulate alt, right? Take a look at the BTC dominance since October close on a weekly basis, right? You know, it is, you know, it's been moving sideways. It's been moving sideways, even though BTC pumped 100%, right? The BTC dominance been stagnant over the last 5 months. So if you just sit right here and say like, oh, you know, the BTC dominance is going up, alt will get crushed, right? That's not what's happening over the last like 5 months, right? Some of these alt, they still up like 100%, 200%. Some of them like 5x, right? Since like October, right? 2023. And I said it clearly, the BTC dominance will go up, but it is going to be a positive news, right? For alt. You want the BTC dominance to go up. You don't want the BTC dominance to go down, right? Before the bull market. Right, once the bull market really kicks in, right, BTC clears the way, you know, breaks out above all-time high, then the BTC dominance, you want the BTC dominance to get crushed. You see what I'm saying? So expect the BTC dominance still to be going up, which is going to be a good news. If it doesn't, we don't care, okay? Because we discussed it over the last, you know, 12 to 18 months. We said don't care about alt, just focus on BTC till basically late 2023, right? When the BTC dominance is going to start to pick. You don't know when it is going to pick. It could even pump for the next like a 9 month, right? Till basically 2025. But it doesn't mean alt won't be pumping. Alt will be pumping, right? Especially the, you know, the coins outside the top 100 will basically get the most out of it, right? You know, out of the, you know, BTC pumping and all that good stuff, right? So I think that is it. That's all I wanted to cover for the BTC dominance. Nothing to say. It's been moving sideways over the last 5 months. BTC is up 100% over the last 5 months. Alt are starting to pump since like October over the last 5 months. So we're pretty good in line, right, with everything we've been expecting over the last 12 to 18 months, right? So the next 12 to 18 months going to be crucial, right, for bears. More pens for bears, right? As they still waiting for what? 10K, 5K, 3K, 1K, and all that good stuff, right? So we already got 30 minutes, right? Almost. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some Q&A, right? So we can cut it short because there's nothing to say. You know, we hit our target, BTC, Ether, you know, and most alt, okay? So I'm just gonna take few questions, right? So it won't be a long live stream. So if you want to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. If you want to join the Discord public group, link in the description. You can also join the Ascend Premium. I'm gonna be doing 50% discount for the halving. So you get the half of the premium, you know, memberships and all that good stuff, right? Till basically the halving and all that good stuff, right? So check out the Discord group and the Telegram group and all that good stuff, right? So we got Quiet Cook in the house cooking some BTC today, man, and flushing everything else down the drain. So thanks a lot for tuning in, Dante. Thanks a lot. Quiet Cook. Thanks a lot. California Rod. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hasta la Vista only shows up when market is pumping. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Mark is saying, I was in your premium. I remember. Hopefully you held all your positions, right? If you were in my premium, you should be doing pretty well, right? Ali, thanks a lot for tuning in. Watching from Canada, Vancouver. Thanks a lot, man. Ali Moonboy. Go ahead to 58 target. I mean, we already hit 57, 58. I just have to give a decent range for Leroy, because if you just say 58, right, Leroy will wait for 58.000, okay? So about 57 is good enough to take some profits, load up on some alts, right? You know, if you've been, waiting for this 57 target. I mean, I will start to discuss about the BTC pairs very soon, right? Because to be honest with you, right, Alt BTC, they're not looking good, right? They're not looking good. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to spend too much energies, right, talking about like Alt BTC, right? Because what I'm used to and what I'm looking for, I'm not saying it, right? So they're not looking good. But one thing I know is like they can give you some popcorn moves, right? For instance, let's take a look at NEA BTC. You can see NEA BTC was in a basically beautiful wedge pattern right here. Okay, so but on the monthly, if you take a look at it, right, it hasn't yet taken out its monthly 220 EMA right here, and right, it could basically comes back down, retest the bottom right here. So Alt BTC, they're not really looking that juicy, right? However, if it breaks out the monthly 21, right, it could basically just shoot up. So that's why I'm not discussing, extensively Alt BTC, right? But on the daily, they're not looking bad, okay? They're not looking bad on the daily. All right, it's not looking bad. You got a bull flag right here. So it could be going back up to like a 10,000 sats right here, right there. Okay, if the bull flag is successful, right there. So you got a, nearly, 40% breakout against BTC. All right. Unless we do get a bull flag, right, on a monthly basis also it comes back down here and then basically break out to the upside, right? So let's take a look at .BTC. So you take a look at .BTC, created the same pattern as a V-chain, right? But it hasn't yet broken out, right? So it can still drag all the way down to the bottom, right around like a 12,000 sats before pushing back up. Or it could just do a V-chain move and push back up, right? So if you take a look at VET BTC, similar pattern right here, right? I don't know why TradingView is doing this nonsense. You got your wedge pattern right there, and then it just broke out to the upside. Some of these alt will give you, this type of a breakout, and some of them against BTC will drag all the way back down before pushing back up. So you don't know which one will do what, right? So you just have to be patient. If you're holding any of these alt, you just have to be patient. So let's take a look at DIMO for Quiet Cook. So DIMO, never looked at this coin, but it looks good. Okay, it looks good after the consolidation. So broke out basically with the rest of the market October, November 2023, picked in late December, just like the rest of the market. So the market is pumping. It could be basically going for its fifth wave to the upside, even though it has some divergences right here, right? So that could potentially be your fifth wave, right, where you're going to get something like that. I just don't know how high it'll go, right? But if you get some rejections, just know like it is potentially your fifth wave, and then you could come back down for some reaccumulation. Or if you have a trading view, just draw your fibs, right? Look for 50% pullback. But it looks like a new coin, okay? So it might not do any of that, and it could just, just gets the job done, right? All the way up to some crazy prices to the upside, right? But just keep an eye on your 3D, it looks really good, okay? If you take a look at it, even on the 3D, it is coming back down to the mid range, and that's how I analyze exactly Casper USDT in our premium, exactly right here, right? I analyze it like when it was like around 12 cents. A member was asking, and I said, don't buy it right here. Wait till we get back down to the mid range on the 3D, and then accumulate at the 3D 21. If it falls down to the weekly 21, that's going to be a secondary chance, right? And pay attention to your RSI to comes back down to the mid range, and once we get the breakout, your MACD will flip positive. Okay, so it looks pretty good. It does look like a bearish divergence right here, right? It does look like a bearish divergence. So if the bearish divergence is successful, right, it could do something like that before pushing back up. That's it, but nothing to panic about, right? And your weekly 21 EMA going to be the support area if it does something like that, because we don't even have a divergence on the weekly time frame. So I wouldn't worry too much about the divergence on the RSI, on the 3D basis, right? Because otherwise you're going to be creating a lot of noise. So if we go back to a Diamond Cook, okay, if we go back to Diamond Cook, right, I would just sit tight on it and not do anything. I would sit tight on it. All right. Okay, I just talked about Casper. TALHA Ahmed. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I just talked about Casper, right? So just sit tight on it. So let's take a look at ADA for. So ADA, I think Quiet Cook asked back in October, I think, when ADA was right here. Remember what I said? Target 60 to 66 cents. That was our target also in the premium, right around like October 22nd, right? Even before we broke out above the weekly 21 and the 3D 21. So as soon as we took out the 3D 21, we started talking about 88. Say, hey guys, right here, going to get some temporary resistance around 40s, and then 60 is going to be the big resistance to keep an eye on. Okay, as of now, looks kind of challenging, right? Because it could create a longer consolidation period right here, right, till the halving. You just don't know where we're going to create some sort of patterns. It could be a wedge, a flat, a zigzag. I don't know, unless we get a good news and then we just blast off to like a $1.20, $1.50 area. Okay, so it could also, because sometimes these alt in a bull market, they don't give you like a 2-month consolidation. They just consolidate for 3 weeks, to 6 weeks, and then basically blast off, right? It's been almost 2 months, okay, of consolidation. So I don't think we will consolidate for another 2 months. I could be wrong, but it looks really, really good, right? So just look at it on a monthly basis. That's the best thing to do. I said it, once 88 takes out the monthly 21, you know, you're going to get something like that, what we had back in 2020, right? In our premium, we talk about it, 88 right here, right? I remember Aldo Moonboy, you know, was bullish right here. You know, we talked about 11 cents. And back then, I wasn't even paying attention to the monthly 21 EMA. But for some reason, we said just accumulate around 11 cents and then sucker pump all the way up to $3. That's a 30x. So now we're sitting at the monthly 21 EMA, actually above the monthly 21 EMA, you know, 50%, 0.618, around like $1 to $1.20. I mean, no need to take some profits right here. Just sit tight, relax. We could hit all-time high. Even though Chico's saying like we might not, right? There's still a possibility 88 going to break out above all-time high. All right, so I think that is it, right, for all the alt. So almost 46, 47 minutes, right? So we talk about all the alt. Ether BTC, Mr. Shoe, Mr. Litecoin, getting wrecked quietly in the kitchen, right? So Ether BTC, very hard to analyze as of now, but we hit support below the monthly 21 EMA, right? So I would just sit tight, okay, and relax, okay? Hold some BTC, right? If we don't break out above the monthly 21 EMA and we ended up falling somewhere around the 50% to 0.618, right here, 0.03, actually 50%, right? 0.037, you just reload, right? Other than that, just hold some BTC. If BTC remains strong all the way up to 63 and Ether falls, let's say, you know, 20% against BTC, 30% against BTC, you know, you accumulate more. But at the current stage of the bull market, I wouldn't even care about a 30% drop against BTC, right? I wouldn't care. The only you just have to know how to read alt BTC, right? So a 30% drop against BTC only means like BTC pumps, right? Let's say 30% and Ether doesn't do anything, right? And the following week or the following month, Ether could pump like 60% against BTC. What does it mean? So it means like Ether could dump 30%, right, against BTC 40%. However, it means like BTC will pump 40% and Ether will stay around like a 3,200 or like a $3,000 area, right? And BTC goes up to like a 80K, stuff like that, right? And you're gonna be like, oh, I'm losing some, you know, my Ether BTC is dropping. Yes, it is dropping temporarily. If you recall, you can go back and watch my analysis. I said it right here when Ether was dropping right here back in 2020. Ether dropped like 40%. What was our target? 0.023 exactly. Why? Because it was at, I think, 50% to 0.618. If you do a swing low to swing high, right here was exactly at the 0.618 right there. Okay, so that's why we're looking for the 0.023, 0.025 area, and we said we're going to pump all the way up to these highs. So I wouldn't worry, I wouldn't be worrying too much even if Ether drops down to like 0.035, right? Because you have to think about it as of now, right? Time is in your favor regardless of what Ether BTC does. Time is in your favor, because even if Ether BTC drops 40%, it could basically pump another 200% against BTC. So you're not missing out anything. The only thing you're missing out is like that drop. And you cannot catch everything in this market. If you're trying to catch everything in this market, it means like you're not going to make anything. You're not going to make anything if you're trying to catch everything. Just catch what you can. Stay profitable. Don't get wrecked. And wait for the next cycle. That is it. Everything else is just noise. I'm telling you, everything is just noise, man. Everything else is just noise, right? And you won't believe it, right? Till the bull market pick, and then we start the bear market, and you're gonna be like, wow, everything was just noise. Sen Crypto was right. Okay. So for instance, the move we had right here from like 0.04 all the way down to 0.02, you know, if you panic and sold and sucker pumped and you're waiting again, it pumped another 100%. So that was just a noise, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're just getting a, a correction. This entire move could be, the accumulation, or it could be a flat. We don't know until basically the breakouts, until we get some sort of breakouts above this key area, and then we're going to finalize the pattern. But it could still do something like that. But you shouldn't worry too much about a 40% drop, right? Because BTC will take care of business by pumping 40%, right? Which means like the BTC dominance, right, could go all the way up to 63% if that's the case, right? If that's the case. Because one thing you have to recall for Ether, in the last bull run, right, you got to think about it, right? When BTC was breaking all-time high, Ether was 50% below all-time high. Ether was somewhere around like $600 back in November, even December. Okay, back in December 2020, Ether was 58% below all-time high, around like $600. Where was BTC? 50% above all-time high. Okay, 50% above all-time high, because BTC was around like a 30K back in December 2020. Right here, right there. We closed around like a 30K. So 20K to 30K, 50% move, Leroy. And Ether was 50% below its all-time high. So if you sit right here, looking at Ether, right, just below all-time high, around 30%, right? That's not bad, okay? Compared to like the last bull run being like almost 60%, right? So that's why I'm saying it is time to load up on alt. Not financial advice. You do whatever you want. You can wait for 10K, 5K, 3K, 1K, or even 20K if you want to, right? But we've been warning you guys over the last few months. Accumulate BTC late 2022, accumulate alt late 2023, sell everything Q1, Q2, 2025. It is very simple. You just have to be very, very patient, right? And have a macro focus, right? Not a 15-second charts, 3% pump, 5% pump, and all that good stuff. Yes, you're going to make some profits with that, but more people get wrecked with that than basically, people that are basically waiting for the 4-year cycle to complete its course and all that good stuff. Solana USDT, I think Solana USDT, could be slowing down over the next few months. What you need to pay attention to is Solana Ether, right? And I sent a chart, I think like, when we picked right here back in December, the same day Solana picked, I sent a chart and I said, it's time to offload some Solana, right, at 0.055 and load up some Ether, right? Sell your Solana into Ether because it is going to lose some value. Guess what? We just dropped 40%. 2 months later, we dropped 40% against Ether, right? So, it could be retesting the top right here, but I think Solana will lose some value, against Ether over the next like a few months, right? It could do like what Ether did to BTC, stay here for the next like a few months and then basically crash out. But I think it will basically crash out against Ether over the next like a few months, right? So if you bought Solana around like $8, $10, $20, just offload some, and then hold some Ether or BTC or some other alt, because Solana is not going to go 100x from here. I don't think we will hit $1,000 Solana. So anything around like a $300 to $600 is good enough to to get out. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sol USDT. So Sol USDT doesn't look bad, right? Looks really, really good. If you only care about Sol USDT, it looks good, okay? It hasn't yet finished its wave 5, but you just don't know how big the wave 5 is going to be, okay? assuming like that's our wave 1, wave 2. This is too small to be wave 3, so wave 3 could still be on the way, right, within the next few months, wave 4 and wave 5. Right, but I don't think we will hit $1,000, okay? Anything around like a $300 up to $600, you know, it is a nice exit point. Getting wrecked with Litecoin quietly. It's okay, man. Litecoin will pump. You just have to get out, okay? So keep an eye on PIF, guys. Some of these 2023 coins, right? They got some hype. You know, hasn't pumped yet. It kind of reminds me of DOT around like a $3 to $5 area. So it is around like a 70 cents right now. Hasn't done much. So let's take a look at it. Somewhere with more. Yeah, it got added on everywhere back in November, October, November. Yeah, so November got added everywhere. So still around the same levels over the last 5 months. So kind of reminding me of 1 inch or like a, you know, DOT, right, around $3 to $5 area. So good level to accumulate and be patient for the next 2 months, okay? Alright guys, I'm just gonna cut it short. I just wanted to go for a 30 minutes live stream, but Quiet Cook and Mr. Shu got me busy for 1 hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your live stream. Hopefully you guys you know, been patient over the last 12-18 months. Hopefully most of you guys haven't been waiting for 3K, 5K, 10K, 12K, 15K and all that good stuff, right? And hopefully you guys been loaded on alt in Q4 actually 2023, right? And hopefully you guys not shorting BTC too, right? So all right guys, thanks a lot for watching.